Number 10. Vanessa Paradis. Vanessa Paradis was Johnny's partner of 14 years before they separated, and has resolutely supported her ex from day one. During the 2020 Sun libel case, Vanessa sent a statement to the judge in England, writing, quote, "I work as a musician, singer-songwriter, actress, and fashion model. I have known Johnny for more than 25 years. We've been partners for 14 years, and we raised our 2 children together. Through all these years, I've known Johnny to be a kind, attentive, generous, and non-violent person and father. On movie sets, the actors, directors, and entire crew adore him because he is humble and respectful to everyone, as well as being one of the best actors we've ever seen. I am aware of the allegations which Amber Heard has publicly accused Johnny of for more than 4 years now. This is nothing like the true Johnny I have known, and from my personal experience of many years, I can say he was never violent or harmful to me. I have seen that these outrageous statements have been really distressing and also caused damage to his career because, unfortunately, people have gone on believing these false facts. This is so upsetting that he has helped so many people in his personal and professional life with kindness and generosity. Although they're no longer together, if she's willing to support her ex through a case against him, I can't imagine anything else that would come between them. Number 9. Candace Owens. Candace Owens is a right-wing political commentator who has spoken out strongly in support of Johnny Depp during his fight with Amber. She labeled Amber as, quote, "a liar from day one," and she has elaborated on her television show what her exact stance is during the trial. Quote, "It has been absolutely ridiculous to see what that woman was allowed to do because she flew under the radar of the Me Too movement." And honestly, she's kind of right. If the verdict of this trial proves that Johnny was wrongfully misrepresented by Amber, then it could be a case of Amber manipulating a movement meant to empower victims in favor of destroying this man's career. Candace also tweeted out in early April, quote, "I'm on record calling Amber Heard a liar from day one. Many people don't realize that a harmful sociopath was able to seamlessly destroy a man because of the Me Too campaign. Never believe women. Instead, listen to women and men, but believe facts." Number 8. Paul Bettany. Paul Bettany and Johnny Depp are extremely close friends. Johnny's lawyer even called him to the stand to help support Depp during the trials. If he's willing to go to court for someone, I doubt the outcome of the case will have much of a say in whether or not Paul's opinion of Johnny is swayed. He has previously shown his support for Depp on Twitter too, and shown his love for the actor in various interviews both before the trouble with Amber and after.
And at number 7, muffin questioning. During the trial, one of Johnny Depp's witnesses was a psychologist named Dr. Shannon Curry. Dr. Curry's job was to come and testify about the mental state of both of the parties and to determine any psychological issues either party possessed. During her testimony, she stated that Amber had multiple psychological issues and made Amber seem like the abusive party. So to get back at the doctor, Heard's lawyers tried to discredit her. At one point, the lawyers kept asking about was some muffins that Dr. Curry brought to the meeting with Amber. Since Dr. Curry's husband got these muffins, Heard's lawyers wanted to see if Dr. Curry told her husband that a confidential celebrity client, aka Amber, was coming to see her that day. After a long line of useless questioning, Dr. Curry cleared everything up, saying that her husband bought the muffins but he did not know who they were for. The lawyer was stunned and had to take a few moments to come up with a new question.
Number 6. Laurie Holden. Another original supporter of Johnny Depp's from way back in 2016 when the allegations first came out is Laurie Holden. She starred in The Walking Dead and received major backlash for her support of Johnny Depp back when the world was against him. And now, fast forward all the way to 2022, Laurie shared an article about her bashing her for supporting the Fantastic Beasts actor with the tweet, quote, "Glad I did support him. Would do it again in a heartbeat. Just happy that 6 years later the world is finally catching up. The truth is now being revealed and there will be justice." All the people who supported Johnny back before it was the popular opinion are definitely getting their comeuppance now. Number 5. Amber hitting Johnny. Amber also describes how she had hit Depp, in what she alleges was the only instance of actually doing that. In their LA penthouse after an argument, Heard accuses Depp of cheating on her with a woman he'd been with years before, saying she found out he had been to the woman's house after she and Depp were married. She told the court she yelled obscenities at Depp and at one point went into their neighboring penthouse, which Depp also owned, to see her sister who had been staying there. Heard alleged that Depp followed her there and grabbed at her. She said she returned to their shared penthouse onto the top floor with her sister. He threw a can up at him, then bolted up the stairs and grabbed the back of her head. She then states that her sister put herself between the couple, and in that moment, Heard feared her sister might fall down the stairs and she saw Depp raise his hand to hurt her. So she swung at him. Quote, "In all my relationship with Johnny, I hadn't landed a blow. For the first time I hit him, like actually hit him square in the face, but he didn't push my sister down the stairs. Number 4. Javier Bardem. Javier Bardem was Depp's co-star in the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise before Johnny got booted from the film due to the accusations of Amber. Given his resolute statement of support, I doubt it will wave anytime soon. Quote, "I love Johnny. He has always been a true gentleman and an extremely generous and caring friend to my family and myself. On top of that, I've had the gift of working with him twice and have experienced his respectful attitude towards every single member of the crew alongside his unique and hilarious sense of humor. I stand by Johnny because I have always seen and felt a true caring and loving man in him. He is an extraordinary and unique artist who has listened to anyone who needed his help."
And at number 3, Depp calls out lawyers for hearsay comments. If you've watched even a little bit of this trial, you know that Amber Heard's lawyers love objecting on the grounds of hearsay. According to Cornell Law School, hearsay is an out-of-court statement offered to prove the truth of whatever it asserts. These statements are inadmissible as trial evidence because there's no actual proof to back them up. Basically, during the entire trial, anything that a person did not say or hear directly is objected to, and it gets a bit annoying after a while. And social media has been mocking her lawyers for the constant objections. While one of her lawyers were telling Depp to read off articles, the lawyer read one title saying, quote, "A year and a month before Amber published the op-ed, headline, Johnny Depp allegedly showed up drunk to movie premiere, reports say." Depp then quickly responded, quote, "Reports say, this is hearsay, is it not? Your favorite word."
Number 2. Paul McCartney. Although he has not made an official public statement, Paul McCartney did pay tribute to the actor in the recent Seattle stop of his Get Back tour. He performed the song My Valentine, of which Depp stars in the music video. His image could be seen on a giant screen behind McCartney while he sang his song, which, if you ask me, is just as large of a show of support as any statement could be. Number 1. Sia. Sia also gave her show of support, although the tweet has since been deleted. Kinda sus. Back in 2020, she wrote out on Twitter, quote, "Just showing my public support for Johnny Depp. I mean, I'd love him to get clean and stop with the jewelry, but he is clearly the victim after hearing those tapes." I wonder if she deleted it because she made fun of his aesthetic or for some other reason. Number 10. The honeymoon phase. Back when Amber Heard first gave her testimony on her first day on the stand, she detailed the early stages of her and Johnny's romance. It was a whirlwind and described as incredible in the beginning. She lets us in on how good it was before turning sour while on the stand, stating, quote, "We talked about books, music, and poetry. We liked a lot of the same stuff. Obscure writers and interesting books and pieces of poetry I haven't heard anyone else know or reference or like." After they first met, they were basically madly in love with each other and felt like they could connect intellectually. She describes Johnny as very well-read and charismatic, and she would routinely leave his office with a few books he'd lent her. Quote, "I knew who he was. I wasn't a fan of his work. I wasn't familiar with him, but I knew who he was. I knew he was one of the most famous people in the world. It was weird because he's twice my age and this famous actor, and here we are getting along about old books and the blues. I thought it was unusual and remarkable. I left there feeling like, wow." Number 9. When she fell in love. Amber also recounts when she felt like she officially fell in love with Johnny. She says it was in 2011, after they had finished filming their movie, The Rum Diary, and were traveling the world to promote it. Quote, "I felt like this man knew me and saw me in a way that nobody else had. He made me feel seen, made me feel like $1 million. That kind of feeling where he just lavished gifts, lavished expressions of love, and how he'd never met a woman like me. I remember he took the foil off of a bottle and put it on my ring finger, and I had only been with him like days. Maybe it was weeks at the time. It just felt very intense." At the time of this romance, Johnny was in the process of separating from Vanessa Paradis. Even though they never married, they were considered in a common law relationship, which goes through the same divorce proceedings, especially if children are involved. But Johnny similarly fell for her. When he was on the stand, he called her his perfect partner. Number 8. Amber recounts the first time Johnny hit her. The first time Johnny Depp allegedly hit Amber Heard has been revealed while she was on the stand. It occurred after she asked about a tattoo of his, the famous Wino. The tattoo came from Johnny's relationship with Winona Ryder, and it used to say Winona Forever, but after they broke up, he changed it to Wino. Apparently, when she poked fun at the tattoo, he slapped her when she started to laugh. Quote, "I will never forget it. It changed my life." She also added that he was inebriated at the time of the slap. Although Johnny did say that Amber took issues with his tattoo, he denied hitting her over the issue though and characterized it as an absurd reason to hit someone. Number 7. David Yates. Despite Johnny being kicked out of the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them franchise for the allegations made against him back in 2017, the director of that series has come out in support of Johnny Depp. Swaying against what was the public opinion at the time that Johnny had harmed Amber, David decided to show his support despite receiving tons of backlash for it. When they were considering ousting him before the final decision had been made, Yates voted to keep him because, quote, "I can only tell you about the man I see every day. He's full of decency and kindness, and that's all I see. Whatever accusation was out there doesn't tally with the kind of human being I've been working with." As an OG supporter of Depp's, I doubt the verdict of the court case will sway his opinion now. Number 6. More instances of harm. Amber also recounts several other instances of harm. She describes being penetrated by a bottle, in which she alleged was harm done by Johnny. She said she woke up to hear Marilyn Manson music playing and then noticed a brown substance on the wall, which she later identified as blood. Depp had previously testified about his finger having been cut off and about using his blood and paint to write messages on the walls of one of the couple's homes. Depp claimed Heard had become enraged, throwing a bottle of vodka at him and severing his finger. But for her part, Amber says that when she woke up, his finger was already severed and she discovered the messages on the wall in his blood. Amber also revealed that she was hurt from the bottle. Quote, "I wasn't thinking about pain, I was heartbroken. I realized eventually that I could be hurt because I was bleeding. But I convinced myself it wasn't broken or that the bottle wasn't broken or it would be a lot worse. And the discomfort paled in comparison to the heartbreak. I had just married this man."
Halfway number 5, Heard copying Depp's outfits. One strange thing that has been noticed during the trial is that Amber seems to copy Johnny's outfits in court. Dr. Shannon Curry took the witness stand and testified that she diagnosed Amber Heard with 2 personality disorders, one that could cause her to mimic her ex-husband Johnny Depp's wardrobe choices. Dr. Curry claimed that Amber's disorder may cause her to, quote, "take on the identity of the people they are spending time with because it's comforting." This testimony came at an interesting time because fans have been pointing out that Heard seems to copy whatever Depp wears in court. One fan on Twitter wrote, quote, "When Johnny wore a gray suit, the next day she wore the same thing. Then he wore a Gucci ensemble, and then she wore it the next day." If the public noticed this was a pattern, Heard's lawyers should have immediately stepped in and told her to stop wearing them.
Number 4. Amber wanting to leave before. Amber also revealed to the court that she had tried leaving him before 2016. She said she was heartbroken trying to reconcile the good and bad parts of their relationship. Quote, "I wanted to want to leave him. I wanted him to get better. And he expressed to me so many times when he was in that period of getting clean and sober, 'You saved my life, baby girl, you saved my life.' Everyone else is saying that to me, and I believed it." Number 3. Penelope Cruz. Penelope Cruz, Javier's wife, and co-star to Johnny Depp, also in the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, has given similar shows of support for the defamed actor. She gave this declaration back in the 2020 libel trial in the UK. Quote, "I met Johnny when I was 19 years old. He was in Madrid and introduced to me. The only sentences I knew how to say in English at the time were, 'How are you?' and 'I want to work with Johnny Depp.' Many years have passed and I have not only made 3 movies with him, but I also count on him as a great friend. I've always been impressed by his kindness, his brilliant mind, his talent, and his peculiar sense of humor. I've seen Johnny in so many situations and he is always kind to everyone around. He's one of the most generous people I know. During 6 months of my first pregnancy, I spent every single day with him while we shot Pirates of the Caribbean. My husband and I will never forget the sweetness, protection, and kindness he treated me with during every single step of that process. We loved him very much and I feel very lucky to have someone so special in our lives." Number 2. Audio recordings of Johnny filming Amber. At the time of writing this, audio recordings were played from 2015 when Amber was being recorded by Johnny without her knowledge. When she discovers that he's filming her, Heard tells Depp that recording her is, quote, "secretive and deceitful. You had trouble with me before when you said to me that you didn't feel like you were told I was recording you. So please stop, please stop." Johnny then says something too quiet for us to hear before loudly telling Amber to listen to him. Quote, "You are not a school teacher. Shut the f*** up. Listen to me and then you can f***ing respond. Understand? You ain't nobody's f***ing mom. You ain't no school teacher. Don't pretend to be f***ing authoritative with me. You don't f***ing exist." Number 1. Amber addresses viral audio where she admits to hitting Johnny. Although she previously stated that she'd only hit Johnny once at the top of the stairs to defend her sister, there was a viral recording that says otherwise. In the clip, Amber says to Johnny, quote, "I was hitting you. I was not punching you. Babe, you're not punched." Although Amber admits on tape to starting the fight, Amber on the stand claimed that it was a physically intimate, consensual hitting that took place. She says that Johnny hit her in the bedroom provocatively and she reactively hit him back. She said the incident in the clip is when she barricaded herself in a bedroom and Depp tried to break in. She hit him to get him out of the room. Quote, "I hit his arms, his body as he was trying to prevent me from closing the door. I knew what he would do to me when he got to the other side."
In at number 10, lawyer objects to own question. Easily the most embarrassing moment from one of Heard's lawyers was when he objected to his own question. Attorney Adam Nadelhaft made a huge error while he was asking questions about a fight that left Johnny with a severed finger. While the lawyer was questioning Ben King, Depp's house manager, he asked, quote, "You didn't know what could cause damage to Mr. Depp's hand while you were there on March 8th, correct?" King answered the question by stating a doctor told him that Depp sustained an injury to one of his fingers. Then, in an attempt to stop King from continuing his testimony, the lawyer objected, saying, objection hearsay? For a moment everyone was confused until the judge stated, quote, "Wait, you asked the question, next question." Awkward. And at number 9, can't do math. One of the funniest moments captured was not actually during the trial, but it was to do with the pre-trial details to be sorted out. The judge was on the stand telling each side how much time they will have in court, stating that once they go over time she'll have to stop them regardless of the line of questioning. At one point she breaks down the exact hours and minutes each side still has in court, and for some reason Amber Heard's lawyers kind of object and make it seem like the math does not add up. The judge then breaks down the math and asks the lawyer if she got a different number. After a very awkward silence, someone comes in and lets the judge know that her math adds up. The caption on the video reads, quote, "Judge Penny Ascart has the patience of an actual saint. Amber Heard legal team failing to do basic math." And at number 8, Milani Cosmetics contradicts Amber's lawyer. During her trial, Amber Heard's lawyer stated that Amber would walk around with makeup constantly in case she ever needed to cover a bruise that Johnny had given her. In court, the lawyer held up Milani Cosmetics all-in-one correcting kit while telling the jury how Heard concealed alleged bruises on her face. Although it's important, the lawyer never claimed that Heard uses that specific product. During the trial, her lawyer held up the makeup and said, quote, "This is what Amber carried in her purse for the entire relationship with Johnny Depp. She's an actor. Do you honestly think she would have left her apartment ever without makeup? Do you think she would ever have wanted other people to see her bruises and cuts? This is what she used. She became very adept to it." Milani clapped back in a TikTok video, showing that the product held up in court was not released until 2017, 1 year after Heard filed for divorce. So there's no way that Heard could have been covering up her bruises with that makeup. A source close to Heard told People, quote, "Heard's lawyer was using an example of the kind of makeup that she used."
7. The turn of the relationship. Amber has revealed to us just how the relationship started to turn from amazing and idyllic to terrifying. In a retelling, Amber said their relationship changed after Johnny broke his longtime sobriety after a period of abstaining from alcohol. She describes him as jealous and often accusing her of having affairs with other people. Amber also told the court that Johnny's alleged attacks would coincide with him using the substances he swore he would never do again. Johnny, for his part, previously testified and refuted the idea that he was ever out of control while he was inebriated. Although Amber describes one specific instance where she said she was headbutted and repeatedly punched in the face by Depp in an attack she believed was going to end in her death. Quote, "He was pummeling me. I thought, this is how I die. He's going to kill me now. He's going to kill me and he won't even have realized it."
In at number 6, Kate Moss questioning. Last week while Heard was testifying, she was recalling an incident where Johnny allegedly got physical with her sister Whitney, and during the testimony she brought up model Kate Moss, to which Depp's team celebrated. Kate Moss and Depp used to date decades ago when they were both very young, and Heard alleged that Johnny also got physical with Moss while they were together, specifically claimed that he pushed Moss down a flight of stairs. In court, Heard said about her sister's altercation with Johnny in 2015, quote, "She threw herself in the line of fire. She was trying to get Johnny to stop. Her back was to the staircase and Johnny swings at her. I don't hesitate and wait. I instantly think of Kate Moss and stairs." Court footage then showed Depp's lawyers quietly celebrating after Heard mentions Kate Moss. We can assume that the court did not allow evidence or testimony from Moss to be allowed, but now that Heard has opened the door to the altercation, Moss might be asked to testify. Since Johnny clearly does not agree this altercation with Moss happened, Depp's team believes it will once again prove Amber's lies.
Number 5. Winona Ryder. Winona Ryder is also an ex of Johnny's. She was supposed to testify in his 2020 trial but was unable to attend. Although they only dated for a few years back in the 90s, their bond was extremely tight and so she was called to defend Depp. Instead of being able to attend though, Winona wrote a statement to the court which reads, quote, "I am aware of the violence allegations that have been made publicly for the last few years by Johnny Depp's ex-wife Amber Heard. I knew Johnny very well years ago. We were together as a couple for 4 years, and I counted him as my best friend and as close to me as family. I count our relationship as one of the more significant relationships of my life. I understand that it is very important that I speak from my own experience, as I obviously was not there during his marriage to Amber, but From my experience, which was so wildly different, I was absolutely shocked, confused, and upset when I heard the accusations against him. The idea that he is an incredibly violent person is the furthest thing from the Johnny I knew and loved. I cannot wrap my head around these accusations. He was never violent towards me. He was never harmful at all towards me. He has never been violent or harmful towards anybody I have seen. I truly and honestly only know him as a really good man, an incredibly loving, extremely caring guy who is so very protective of me and the people that he loves, and I felt so very safe with him.
I do not want to call anyone a liar, but from my experience of Johnny, it is impossible to believe that such horrific allegations are true.
And at number 4, pathetic attempt to discredit Johnny. During one portion of the trial, Johnny Depp was on the stand and Amber Heard's lawyers could ask him whatever they wanted. At one point, the lawyer tried to make a point about Depp's damaged reputation, giving Depp a number of headlines to read, with them all painting a picture of Depp as out of control. The articles called him in crisis, claimed he was losing money, and also claimed his addiction to drinking was ruining his life. The lawyer read a number of these headlines until Depp himself pointed out that all of these sites are trashy gossip sites and they do not print the truth. Depp even called his line of questioning a quote, pathetic attempt. Near the end of the clip, we see Depp start to make fun of these articles, and the lawyers were trying to paint them as real evidence.
Number 3, Amber readjusts her testimony. And now, on Monday, Amber is back on the stand to continue recounting her relationship with Johnny. In the first few minutes of her being back on the stand, she readjusts her testimony and tells the court that the alleged harm began earlier than she previously recalled before. Quote, I'm embarrassed to say I think I would have liked to believe that the period of time in which I fell in love with Johnny and he wasn't violent to me lasted longer than it did. But she said she reviewed notes from her therapist and says that there was harm done in 2012 rather than 2013 like she previously stated. When asked by her attorney why she didn't recall these moments earlier, she stated, quote, that's not how my memory works.
And at number 2, asked inappropriate questions. Of course, it's a lawyer's job to get down to the truth, so it's not out of the question to assume some uncomfortable questions are asked. At one point, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard were living in Australia while Depp was filming a Pirates of the Caribbean movie, and Amber alleged that Depp tried to urinate in the foyer of her house. Depp's bodyguard Malcolm Connolly was on the stand, and during cross-examination, Heard's team asked him if he witnessed Depp urinating in the foyer of their residence at the time. Connolly confirmed he heard noises inside the home, and that when he entered, he saw Depp in the foyer. When pushed again to answer, the bodyguard said no, he did not see him try to urinate, prompting those in the courtroom to laugh, including Depp. The lawyer then continued, quote, Mr. Depp had his out, didn't he? Before being interrupted by an objection. The bodyguard denied it and claimed he would have remembered if he saw it. Depp then tried to contain his laughter. And finally, number 1, stupid objections. I talked before about how Heard's lawyers object to ridiculous things, but this is probably the most insane. So I assume that everyone knows that Johnny Depp's most well-known role is playing Captain Jack Sparrow in Pirates of the Caribbean, but maybe Amber Heard's lawyers did not know that. During a line of questioning, Heard's lawyers were speaking to some sort of studio executive or talent manager, and they were speaking of the 6th movie in the franchise. Depp was set to play the lead role in that movie like he had for the 5 before it, but he was cut from the movie in the midst of the Amber Heard drama. When Depp's lawyers asked the witness what role Depp would play in the 6th movie, Heard's lawyers objected, citing hearsay. Are we surprised? The judge allowed the question, and the answer was none other than Captain Jack Sparrow. Again, are we surprised? Like, we know that's who he plays.